Hi, how can music change your productivity and what kind of music should it be? Let's find out. Before we begin this conversation, please feel free to subscribe and like when you like this video. For some personal coaching and personal help, you can always contact me. Link in the description. Let's go. So how can music change your productivity? You can put certain kinds of music on and you can listen to music while you're doing things. Maybe you listen to music while you're doing one task and maybe you listen to something else while you do something else. When you're doing something, maybe you're only washing dishes, maybe you do something in a company and you have the luxury to put some music on. Remember that we do things better in some kind of mood and worse in another mood. So you can change the kind of music you put on to change your mood. Not only that, this is just a beginning. There is some kind of music that you just put on automatically before you start with the task. And you notice when you do that, when you put that music on, maybe you have an iPod or an MP3 player, something else that you listen to music to, that when you put that music on, the task goes double that easy. It just becomes much more easier. Maybe it's something in the music, maybe it's the rhythm, maybe it's the tempo, something that keeps you in a certain kind of pace and a certain kind of movement. So when you notice that there is some kind of music that you put on every time you do a certain task and it goes much better, then you can remember what kind of music that is and put that music back on. And you can test out what music goes well with what task. You can hear what rhythm and what tempo goes best with which task. And once you know what music you can put on and what music motivates you for what task, you can begin to listen every time to the same kind of music for the same kind of task. And when you do that every time again, you will notice that your productivity will increase. Because once you are in the mood, once you're in the rhythm, you can keep going and keep going. And there is a difference between what music you can use for what tasks. Sometimes it's better to use music, like classical music or light jazz music, without lyrics, for things like studying or a bit of meditation or something else in that kind. But when you're doing something with a different tempo, you can change music with a different tempo. So you can change to hip-hop maybe, or something else with another kind of tempo you like. It helps you with that kind of tempo in that task. I'm sure you have a lot of different kinds of music that you already listen to, and you have a lot of variation you can use. So experiment a little bit and have fun. Let me know how it goes. Now here is the interesting thing. Once you know that you can do this with music, there are other things in your environment that has the same effect. Something in the room maybe, that gives you a certain kind of vibe or certain kind of mood. When you see it, when you feel it, maybe subconsciously, when you pass it by. There's some things in your environment that you can change, or some things in your environment that changes your mood and how you are in that room. So when you change the room, your mood changes. So maybe there is one thing only that in the room changes how you do the tasks in that room. What if you can design your room so that you feel wonderful when you walk into it? You feel motivated to accomplish something when you walk in that room. What would invite you in that room to do something wonderful, or to do tasks that you need to do more quickly, with more ease, with more freedom. And maybe you have noticed that some tasks you do more easier when you did something small before. I know this is not specific, but it's specially designed to make you think about what kind of action that could be. When you think about certain tasks that you do, when you think about some tasks that you do or that you need to do, sometimes it goes easier when you have done something before. It can be something very small or something that seems insignificant. But when you did that thing before, suddenly how you do your task changes. Maybe it's an action, maybe it's a habit that you have that you didn't notice before. But when you do it, suddenly something changes in how you do the task. These days, the next few days or maybe weeks, pay attention to small things you do before you start the task. Maybe it's something that you did an hour before or maybe a day before. Remember when we were talking about day and night and how something in your evening can change how good you sleep, how that changes how good your morning is? Some things like that in your actions will change how you do the task you do. So pay attention to them and you can design your own motivation. As with the other things you have learned until now, they all ask a certain amount of time to learn them and to appreciate the effect of them over time as they accumulate. You will see that the more you do this every day, the more effect it has on your life. It will need a certain amount of time every day to make sure that you have those habits in place and that you have really fun with doing those tasks and with experimenting and testing out what works for you and what doesn't. So you can create your own system. This is about creating your own system to double your productivity. Have fun. If you like this video, do remember please to like it. If you don't like it, just click the don't like button, the dislike button. Here's a question for you. Let me know in the comments. What kind of music motivates you to do what kind of task? Let me know. I see you next time.